What's up, guys? We are back. We are back. So yesterday was such a good discussion, I had to come back for some more. So what do you guys think about the C8 Z06? Obviously, we had a little bit of a discussion about it yesterday. I'm curious what your thoughts are. Curious to know if the E-Ray will be wide body. Yeah, the E-Ray will very likely be, it will share probably the same body as the Z06 because that's typically what the Grand Sport did in pretty much all different generations. So this one's not going to be any different. I think the E-Ray is still going to look visibly very similar to the Z06, minus some front end differences. If I had to guess, GM is going to want you to know that that car is a hybrid or an electric kind of vehicle, and if that's the case, the front end is probably going to be styled pretty differently, more like a Tesla if I had to guess. But anyway, guys, we are going to be talking a lot about cars in general today. So as you guys may or may not know, the C5 Corvette is being given away on my channel, so you can win this car. It is one of the best examples of a C5 in my experience. It is done up to perfection because of Blackout Tinting's ability to ceramic coat and put some XPEL on this, black diamond wheels. You could win this. All you have to do is follow that link in the description down below, buy some merchandise, and you are entered to win. Now, what I promised you guys last night, if you guys were part of the live video last night, I promised you, you will be hearing cold starts of all of these vehicles if we are able to get 100 thumbs ups. We're at 15 right now, so we need 85 more, and I will get you a cold start of every one of these beautiful vehicles. Now, in the meantime, we're going to be talking a lot about the C8 Corvette, and specifically the C8 Corvette Z06. We have a lot on the agenda today to talk about, though, because there's a lot of other variants other than the Z06 coming that's going to also blow us all away. So we've talked a lot about the Z06 yesterday. The fact that they're going to go ahead and start with some weight savings. It's going to be around 600 to 620 horsepower. There's going to be something that helps assist with the torque because of the flat plane crank. All right, Ryan, we'll do that. 55 thumbs up, and we get a Zr1 cold start. And then after that, we'll do another cold start at 75 thumbs up once we hit, or then we'll hit the C8 Z06. Ken, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. We're at 31 thumbs up, 33 thumbs up right now. So if we get up to 55, it was Ryan's idea to get a cold start of the Zr1 at 55 thumbs ups. Look at it. She's looking beautiful today. Yes, sir. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on the C8 Corvette Zr1? Now, we've talked, like I said, yesterday we were talking a lot about the Z06, but the Zr1 hasn't gotten a lot of love. And there's not really a whole lot of confirmed information on that car at this time, but I wanted to tell you my thoughts based on what I know of the C8 Corvette Z06. I kind of have an idea of what they're going to do with the Zr1. Basically, what the Zr1 is going to do is kind of the opposite of what the C8 Z06 is doing. And that is, let's see what this question was first. What is the #1 differentiating feature you're looking forward to in the Z06 over the Stingray? Honestly, it's a combination of two things. It's going to be the wide body and the aero that we're going to get with the car. Now, back to the C8 Corvette Zr1. What I think they're going to do with that is kind of the opposite of what they're doing with the Z06. With the C8 Z06, they're trying to limit weight while keeping the engine naturally aspirated and focusing on aero. That is kind of what they're going to do with the Zr1, but mostly it's not going to be so much about reducing weight. It's going to be more about throwing gigantic horsepower at it. So for those of you who don't know, the C8 Corvette Zr1 is likely to be a 5.5 liter twin turbocharged V8. So it's not going to be a flat plane crank anymore. Wow, Ken, thank you very much. That is unbelievable. Thank you so much. Huge thumbs up to Ken, guys. If you've seen him in the chat, he just donated $50 to the horsepower obsessed compound here. So absolutely appreciate it, Ken. Thank you. But we are, with the Zr1, we're likely to get, like I said, twin turbocharged V8, not flat plane crank. It will be your normal cross plane. And obviously with forced induction, we are talking about some big horsepower numbers. So it is likely to put out somewhere around 700 to 800 horsepower. And then of course, Moving on with the Zr1 model is going to bump that up to 1,000. That has been the rumor since this car has come out. With all of that said, the Zr1 and the Zr1 are specifically going to focus on active aero. So not just your normal aerodynamics, not just the gigantic amount of horsepower, but also active aero. So if you guys don't know what active aero is, it's literally, we'll say this spoiler back here creates a couple 100 pounds of downforce. When you want that spoiler to not create any kind of drag, it would literally be sucked back down into the body. So at high speeds, if you want, we'll say you're taking it to the drag strip and you don't want any drag on this thing, you could literally just push a button and that spoiler will be sucked down into the car. Now that's one way that they could do it. Another way is like the way that Lamborghini handles it with their Performante. And that is actually active flaps in the front and the rear that help steer the car at high speed. So the flaps literally open and close to help pull the car to one side or the other. Now that is what the Zr1 and the Zr1 specifically are going to focus on, whereas the Z06 is going to be more of your track capable car, lightweight, a good amount of horsepower, but nothing earth shattering, and a bunch of aero. So the Z06 is literally going to be 100% built for the track. Not saying you can't drive it on the street, but it is going to be a track car, whereas the C8 Zr1 is likely to be more of kind of a cross between the two, and you can do both really easily. But it is still built for the track, just not as track crazy as the Z06 is going to be.
Jerry wants to know, do you think that the Zr1 will be a competitor of the Ford GT?
That is a good question. Who, Jerry? Jerry asks if I think the Zr1 model will be a competitor to the Ford GT. That is a really hard question to answer. I think by the time the Zr1 comes out, the Ford GT is going to be old enough that, yeah, I think the Zr1 will be better than the GT. Now, with that said, the C7 Zr1 actually beat the Ford GT around the Virginia International Raceway. So if you guys are familiar with that, this car is literally faster than a GT around that particular track, and they did it by accident. The GM guys that were testing out the car just trying to warm up the tires literally beat the GT's track time just while trying to warm up the tires. So, yeah, we got 47 thumbs up so far, guys. If we get up to 55, we're going to get a cold start of the beautiful Zr1. She doesn't make it out of the garage a whole lot, and luckily it's a nice day today, so she's out. She's out and she's ready to play. Check out that front end, though. It's like a mirror. I love it. Ceramic coating, XPEL, completely coated with XPEL paint protection. It looks good. I like it. Yep, 3 more thumbs up. 1 more thumbs up, and it's going to get a cold start. Now, what you got to understand is I can do this for you today. We're there. We can do it today because I have this person here giving me a hand. So my lovely assistant is going to start my beautiful car. Yeah, yes she is. Yes she is. She's afraid because it's a stick, but it's all right. Ridiculous street supercar, seriously balanced hypercar. You're probably right, Andrew. I agree. But we hit the 55, guys. So now we got to convince the wife. She's got to jump in the car. Say hi.
Hello.
All right, she's going to get in there. She'll figure it out. We'll help her along the way. Wow, that's going to be tight. I'm going to have to go around the other side to get to the exhaust.
I think I'll hold the camera and you set it up.
Go ahead. You can do it. All right, guys. Wife is taking the camera. She's too afraid.
Preston, it does not have remote start because it's a manual.
All right.
I'll turn this back over to you, Jay. Preston asked why it doesn't have basically remote start. I told him because it's a manual.
Yeah, so manual transmission cars, unfortunately, yeah, our pop I probably did. That is a little too close for comfort. But we'll give you another cold start if we hit 100. So if we hit 100, we'll start all three of them all together and see which one's louder. Now, believe it or not, guys, the ZR1 is pretty loud, but the C8 gives it a run for its money because for some reason, the 2019 C7s, they were limited at idle. They can only rev up to 4,000 RPM. So the C8 here actually will rev all the way up to 6,500 rev limiter. Yeah, so at 100, we're gonna start all of them. We'll start the ZR1 again. Sounds awesome. Needs to back up to the truck. Oh, well, thank you. Someone just told me I was awesome. All right, guys. So anyway, I have not, well, yes, on my ZR1, I have done an exhaust and the GM Performance intake. This winter, I think I'm going to be sending the supercharger out to get ported. And that's pretty much it. I don't plan on doing a tune on this car. Because of the fact that these things are so rare, they're going to be worth money. I want to keep the stock warranty and everything. But I think with the performance intake and the exhaust, I'm already up somewhere around 25-ish horsepower over stock. And this car already dynoed 702 to the wheels. So that was before the exhaust and before the intake. This thing's a beast. 755 at the crank, and it gets you 702 at the wheels. Pretty crazy. Now, back to the C8 stuff, guys. I know this is why you're really here. How many years do you think the C8 ZR1 will last? Shannon, I actually think the C7 ZR1 only being 1 year model production was actually kind of a fluke. I think GM did that because they really wanted to push this car out as fast as possible. So normally with the C6, the ZR1 lasted a couple years. I think the C8 ZR1 will last longer than 1 year as well. With that said, it's going to be expensive enough that you're not going to see them around a whole lot. So yeah, so again, guys, for those of you just tuning in, if we hit 100 thumbs up, I'm going to cold start all three of these cars and let you hear all of them, maybe one by one, and then we'll do it all at the same time and see if we can really wake up the neighborhood. So we got 40 more thumbs up to go, and then we can do the cold starting of all these beautiful cars. One more thing, for those of you just tuned in, you can win this one. This is a 2000 C5, and you can win it. If you follow the link in the description down below, you can enter to win just by purchasing some merchandise that also helps support the YouTube channel.
Ken wants to know if there's an exhaust going on the C5 Green Hornet.
Yes, so a lot of you guys have asked me about the exhaust on the C5. I do plan on putting an exhaust on here. I'm looking at a Borla attack system right now. There's a couple different reasons. Number one, this car is not loud enough. And number two, the exhaust tips on it are incredibly crooked. So a new exhaust will fix a couple different problems there. That's coming soon. You guys will see that in a video very soon. What other questions we got?
Boy Wonder 71 wants to know how wide can you go on wheels for the C8? And then he also wants to know if the Z06 be 110,000.
Who was that asked that?
Boy Wonder.
Boy Wonder. Actually, North Coast actually answered your question. So C8 Corvette, the widest wheel you can put on the rear is a 21 by 13. Now, I want to make sure you guys understand how incredibly huge that is. So if you want to go any wider than that, I'm not sure that anybody can really help you. But with that said, the C8 Z06 is probably going to have just that amount, maybe wider rear tire. Now, for those of you who don't know, there's been some spy shots that have showed the rear of the C8 Corvette Z06 having a 345 series wide tire. That is massive. Now, it's also going to be a 21-inch rim. So these are normally 20s, and then these are 19s in the front. It's going to be 21/20 on that one. These ones on the ZR1 and on the C7 Z06, these are 335s. So they're going to be a 10 series wider than what's on the C7. It's going to be massive. I mean, it is definitely going to be putting down some power.
Ryan said the C8 Z06 will be old news by the time he gets his allocation.
Yeah, allocations are going to be tough for the C8 Z06, guys. I know we've kind of talked about it in the past, but the allocations for the C8 are tough right now. I think the Z06 is going to be even more rare.
Andrew wants to know if we live in rural, urban, or suburb area. Nice backdrop, he said.
I don't know what I would call this, really.
Just a housing development.
Yeah, it is a nice backdrop, and honestly, it's really beautiful on days like today because it's not very hot either. So, yeah.
Along with a bunch of wildlife, bears.
Yeah, we get bears, deer, rabbits, foxes, all kinds of stuff in our backyard. So it is nice back there. But, you're very welcome, Boy Wonder. Thank you for tuning in. I'm happy to have the conversation with you guys and kind of answer some questions along the way.
Shannon wants to know, do you think that the EPA regulations will be cut off for a total production of the Zr1?
For the C8 Zr1? Oh man, Shannon wants to know what a fully spec'd out Zr1 will cost. So the C8 Corvette Zr1 is probably, if I had to guess, that is going to max out at around 180 to 200 because I'm thinking the Zora is going to start at 200.
Tom wants to know if there will be a convertible for the Z06.
Yes, so I've been asked that question a couple times. Is there going to be a convertible option for the C8 Corvette Z06? The answer is 100% yes. So if you guys have driven a C8 or even a C7, both of them have such a sturdy frame that they don't need to rely on the roof anymore. So all of them are going to have removable options. All of them are going to have convertible options because that has proved to be quite the seller for GM. The C8 base with the hardtop convertible option has been selling crazy. So there's no way that they're going to remove that.
Ken said Blackout Tinting did an excellent job on the wrap on the C8.
They did. They did a fantastic job on the C8 and the C7. I mean, they really anything they touch up there, Blackout Tinting turns to gold. I mean, actually, they did my truck too.
Also the C5.
And the C5. These are all ceramic coated XPEL. Yeah, and even my wife's car over here. So I don't know if you guys have seen her Cadillac. That's an XT5. All of these cars in this parking lot have been touched by Blackout Tinting with XPEL and ceramic coating. So yeah, I obviously very much so approve of their work, and I mean it speaks for itself. If we get up here real close to either one of these cars, you can't tell that there is any paint protection on here. All you see is just mirror finish, or in that one's case, satin finish. What's the next question?
D. Henry wants to know, do you think Mag Ride will be a standard on the Z06?
Yeah. Mag Ride is most likely going to be standard. Again, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. You can kind of predict what GM is going to do with the C8 Corvette just by following what they did with the C7 Corvette. And they did the same thing. So the C7 base Stingray, it was an option to get Mag Ride or not get Mag Ride. On the C7 Z06, it was standard on all of them. So I think it will be the same here. We're going to have a standard Mag Ride suspension on the Z06. So you're not going to have to check that box anymore. It's immediately just going to be Mag Ride on all of the Z06s.
LB Burnett wants to know, do you think the wall of buttons will change on the 2023 C8?
No, I don't. I do not think that we're going to actually get an interior change. I know at one point that was kind of talked about. If we do, I don't think it's going to come this soon. It's going to be something that's probably coming more like 2024, 2025. And even then, I don't think so, because there's a reason why that interior looks the way it does. The gigantic tunnel that goes down the center of the frame, there's really not much to do with it. So I don't think that the interior change is going to be massive, if at all.
Richard wants to know, do they make your C7 Zr1 out of carbon fiber like they did on the C6? Actually, we just sent out his HPO merch too.
Yes. Who was this that asked? Richard. I'll actually just show you because it's probably easier to do it that way. But the C7 Zr1 has a carbon fiber hood, just like the C6 Zr1. And then, of course, all of the visible carbon fiber on the top, the engine cover and all that. But underneath here, you can actually see the entire hood is made out of carbon fiber. And it is unbelievably light. I actually talked about in one of my videos that you have to slam this hood a lot harder than you think to get it to close because of how light it is. If I unbolted that thing, I bet you that doesn't even weigh 20 pounds.
LT4 Power said Cadillacs are for old people. Well, I am over 40 at this point.
Well,
I mean,
he just bought a CTSV. That's why he's saying that.
No Fords allowed in the HPO compound, Ken said. My Lincoln was considered kind of.
Yeah,
a Ford,
she used to have a Lincoln, so we kind of had a Ford here. But honestly, I don't really have an issue with most Fords. The newer Mustangs, especially, they're appealing in their own way. But at the end of the day, I mean, that look right there is just far nicer to me than anything that Ford has made recently. Now, of course, that could all change tomorrow. If Ford brought out something that is literally a Corvette competitor, I'd consider it.
Did you put the C8 engine appearance package back on with carbon fiber?
Yeah.
Is that back on?
What's the next question?
Ken said all the HPO cars are beautiful.
Thanks, Ken.
Ryan wants to know when I'm getting a sports car. Actually, Ryan, I keep asking HPO the same thing. I need to get my own Corvette here, possibly.
She drives this one from time to time, and the C5, because she can't do a stick just yet, but that's a pretty good bit of performance. And technically, the Cadillac she has here is the sport version, so we'll call that a sport SUV. That's close enough, right? All right, guys, we are at 80 thumbs ups. We need 20 more thumbs ups to get some cold start action of all three of these gorgeous vehicles.
Boy Wonder wants to know if you can you commit on the tension blue interior C8 and window glare? I love that color, but really concerned about safety.
Honestly, I haven't noticed it on the tension blue, but on pretty much every other color I've seen on the interior other than the black, you can see a fair amount of glare on that windshield. That's really only a problem if obviously it's really sunny outside, and if you're really concerned about it, you could probably knock it down a little bit by maybe getting the inside of your windshield tinted. That's kind of a gray area when it comes to most states, so yeah, you might want to check with that first. But
Car Guy 11, what's up, Justin? He's just down the street.
What's up, Marco? How you doing, man? I didn't see him come on.
Car Guy 11?
Yeah, you need to come out here one of these days. We can do one of these live videos together. So, guys, if you haven't seen, Car Guy 11 actually drove and kind of reviewed the C8 Corvette not too long ago. You want to check out his channel.
Great White North Corvette, do you think the Z06 will have a front lift as well as a rear lift?
No. So that was one thing. I know there was really only one other person talking about that, and there is no way, there is zero chance that the Z06 will have a front and rear lift. It's literally not going to happen. That kind of came out as a, I don't want to say a joke, but it was kind of just like someone trying to start talking about what the Z06 could potentially offer, and there's literally nothing suggesting that that would ever be the case. It is definitely still going to have a front lift, there's no doubt about it, but very unlikely it would get anything in the rear.
Scott said he's trying to decide when to sell his C8 he's number 2 on the list for the Z06 at his dealership.
Yeah.
And he got first C8 a year ago.
Well, Scott, I would advise you personally to sell your C8 as soon as possible. It's unfortunate because I really love the car, but it is going to start losing value here within the next month or two at most, if I had to guess. There's going to be a lot of people dumping their C8s to get on the list for the Z06. So mine is up for sale currently, if that helps you at all. What's the next one?
Tyler said that his parents have an XT5. They got it in 2018 and love it.
Yeah, the XT5 is a really good car. I mean, every time I get in it, I tell my wife that it rides really nice, and then I'm saying, oh, it rides like a Cadillac. Is it at 107?
That's how many, what do you mean, how many people are watching?
No, one thumbs up. Oh, okay. All right, we're at 90 thumbs ups. We got 10 more, and then we're going to start cold starting some cars.
I actually agree with Ken. A Lambo for me. What are you thinking, like an Aventador?
No, I'm thinking a Lambo for me, and then I'll give one of the Corvettes to, I'll give one of these to Amber. Ken, not switch tracks. I actually have something even better coming soon. I haven't put out any videos of it yet, but I just recently got the drain replaced because the people coming out to do something really special with this floor, they're coming soon. And when they do, trust me, it's going to blow you guys away. It's not going to be, I was originally going to do race deck, but this is a way better option. You guys are going to love it. I know. I can't even wait to see it because it's going to look amazing. But we got...
Romy the Beast says, tell him you want the Zr1 C8 if you can get the Z06. That sounds like a deal.
Yeah, no.
I like it.
If I can actually afford to buy the C8 Zr1, I'll be getting one of those as well. But the Z06, like I said it 100 times in previous videos, the Z06 was the car I wanted since before this one was even officially announced. So
D. Henry said, come on, HPO. Mrs. HPO needs to get her own bet. I definitely don't disagree.
She drives this one all the time. It's close enough to hers.
Ken said radar detector. I think we have radar detectors in 3 out of 5 of these cars right now?
I have one in my C7 and one in my truck. I know they just recently came out with a mount for the C8, so that one will be getting one soon.
He wants to know which one you're using. Is it which one do you have it in right now?
Oh, it's in the Zr1. I am using an Escort Redline 360C. It is without a doubt the best radar detector I've ever used. I'll show you guys real quick. I actually have them for sale on my website if you're interested, but it is probably kind of hard to see there, but it's awesome. It literally, sometimes that thing goes off and I'm looking around wondering what it's possibly detecting. And then 2 miles up the road, I see a cop sitting there. So it definitely does its job in a way. It does it so well that oftentimes I'm wondering why it's going off.
William is asking, are you doing anything with the silver inside the cockpit that's not part of the carbon fiber package? Is that the C8 he's talking about?
Yeah. So the silver on the dash of the C8 does need something. I totally agree. I had actually kicked around the idea of having it wrapped either red or just black just to kind of get rid of it because it's not, I do kind of like the look of it because it is premium. It's aluminum. But I've been in a couple situations with the windows down and the sun's shining in. It reflects off there and literally can blind you. I think it was kind of a poor design choice at the end of the day, but I would wrap it either red or black.
Most natural dipped interiors here in California have the windshield tinted on the C8, says Terry.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. If you have a problem with that reflection of the color of interior you chose, just tint that windshield if that's an option for you.
Is your cool neighbor out?
He is.
Bill.
There he is. He's over there watching. He's watching our feed over there. They're calling you cool, Bill. Yeah, he says yes. All right. Guys, he's always out whenever I have a live feed. I love it. So the support of the neighbors, I got the support of pretty much everybody here, it seems, and I love it, guys.
Michael says 107, start your engines.
Yeah. We got two more thumbs up before we start these guys. You guys hit 100 today. Way faster than we did yesterday. That's awesome. I appreciate all of you guys tuning in, just kind of chatting about cars. I mean, I can't think of anything more natural to do on a beautiful day towards the evening. Just sit out here and talk about cars. The Vet Father, what's up, man? I haven't seen you on YouTube before. That's awesome. I know you have a channel. Guys, check out Vet Father's channel. He's out in California and he works at a dealership.
Ken says, HPO, I think we should do the garage floor with Swiss trucks. He said he's going to help you.
We talked about that already.
Okay.
All right, somebody asked which one's faster. That's a hard question to answer, but ultimately up to 60, the C8 is this much. Let me get that real close. About that much faster than the Zr1. After 60, the Zr1 walks from it. So with that said, if you're looking for a 60 up to a 0 to 60 car, this is the one to get right here. This thing is insanely fast up to 60.
R-Pop, roof scoop possibly on the C8 Zr1 or Zora?
Yes. I think the C8 Z06 is going to have a roof scoop. No, not necessarily a roof scoop. What I'm thinking is going to be a scoop right around this area right here. So something that just comes out and kind of scoops some air coming off the roof line. Now, the only reason I think that is because the C8R has something right there as well. Yeah, just like Andrew said, just like the C8R. I honestly think the C8R is hiding what the Z06 is going to look like in plain sight. It's right there. It's showing us what it's going to look like. No one's really given it a lot of thought. I'm pretty sure the C8 Z06 is going to look exactly like the C8R.
Ryan wants to know what you do for work.
What I do for work, Ryan, is YouTube. As of March 2020, I am full-time YouTube. It's because of you guys. All the support I get from you guys that we can continue to make videos like this and that we can experiment with cars like this. So I got to give it all up to you guys. You're my employers at this point.
Great White North Corvette. Justin, have you decided on a color for your C06?
I think I have. So I am pretty sure I'm going to get a black Z06 unless they come out with some rapid, crazy new colors. And I actually have a feeling we're going to get a green, a bright green. And if we do, I would contemplate that. But I think based on how great this looks, I think I'm going to go with black.
RT Basie, wasn't the factory saying they would bring out the E-Ray before the Z06?
No, so that was kind of a rumor, and that was something I was actually thinking that that's what they were going to do as well at one point, because GM is kind of pushing hard right now on the E-Ray or electric vehicles in general. I thought that they would bring out the E-Ray first and then the Z06 because of the way that GM's pushing towards that. But I have a feeling the only reason they didn't was because they didn't want to spoil the wide body look before the Z06.
Michael says, I know someone is giving away a C5 Corvette that is totally updated.
Yeah. All right, guys. So Mike's talking about the giveaway here. And this is the C5 Corvette that you could possibly win. So if you guys are new to the channel, you haven't seen it before, you can enter to win this particular car. This is a combination effort between Horsepower Obsessed and Click Lewis out there in Palmyra, Pennsylvania. We're both partnering up to give away this car. Check out the link in the description down below. Grab some merchandise. Every $10 spent is an entry to win this beautiful beast. And I will be continuing to update it up until the October 12th giveaway end date. So, yeah.
Thank you to everybody
this
that's
could be
already
yours.
bought, too.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. We have sent out a massive amount of merchandise so far. Me and my wife are literally handwriting every one of these things that goes out the door. So when you get something that has really girly handwriting on it, trust me, it's not mine. But, yeah, thank you all very much for your support. You guys have been buying all kinds of merchandise. There's already so many entries on this thing. Keep them up, guys. I mean, I only have 50,000 subscribers, and even though I appreciate every single one of you, that's not that many. So at the end of the day, you stand a pretty good chance of winning this car if you buy some merchandise.
Terry says, please list the radar mount for the C8.
I will, Terry. If you comment on this video after it goes live, after the live is done, to remind me, I'll shoot you the link for it.
LT4 powered. Why is black so hard to quit?
Right? LT4, I totally agree, man. Black is the color that it seems like it hates you, but you can't stop loving it. Ken, the next Corvette show at Click Lewis is August 8th, and I will be there. I'm still debating on what cars I'm bringing, but this one will definitely be there. This one might be. And this one probably will be too, but we'll see. We'll see. Because like I said, guys, I am trying to sell the C8, so it might not be here for a whole lot longer. If that's the case, I'll bring the Zr1 and the C5 up to that show.
They're asking, James is asking, is the Zr1 faster or is the C8 faster?
The Zr1 is faster overall, but up to 60, the C8 is a hair quicker. I mean, mine's a manual, so unless you can shift like a freaking monster, you're never going to outshift that dual clutch transmission. That thing will beat you to 60. After that, the Zr1 will walk from it.
On the C8, what's the name of the key cover guard?
Yeah, so on the C8, that is made by Hyperion. Again, if you comment after this video is done being live, I will send you a link to it. All right, guys, we have hit 107. We have hit it 100 for the last couple minutes here. We're going to do some cold starts. So my lovely assistant, she's going to jump in the C8.
I can actually do it right.
Well, I want you to rev it though. They want more than just a cold start. We want some revving action. So we're gonna get this thing right
you
back
ready,
here.
Bill? Close your ears.
My neighbors are gonna hate me. Luckily, I have some cool neighbors, so they don't give me too much for this. All right, here we go, guys. Good God, that's loud. All right, guys, so this is the AWE Touring Edition exhaust on the C8. It's the same style exhaust I have on the ZR1 as well. But yeah, that sounds freaking amazing. Little smoky, yep. She gets, on the initial startup, it's a little bit, you got a little bit of smoke coming out of there. It's mostly carbon, it's all black, so nothing too bad, but that's one of them. Yeah, Angel, you do need that on your Zeus Bronze C8. If you come to Corvettes at Carlisle, they're doing free installs. I'll be with AWE for the most part at Corvettes at Carlisle, so if you head up there, you'll definitely see me, and they will install this exhaust system for free. Ken, did you hear it all the way down there? Matt, I'm assuming you mean the C8 Z06. I don't think it will break the 7-minute ring time, but it's going to be close. I am guessing somewhere around 7:02 to 7:05.
Mike said to bring anniversary presents for Amber. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
August 8th is our anniversary.
So, guys, we're going to this car show up at Click Lewis on August 8th. That is actually our anniversary. I managed to convince my wife to let me go to a car show instead of celebrating our anniversary. So, help me out with that. Help me out, guys.
All right,
She wants to kill me.
this one up?
You can do it.
No.
Yeah. Let's do it. It's already in neutral. Just. Yep, I'm waiting. Go ahead.
I'm not being responsible if something bad happens. That's a lot of money to replace.
All right, so we're going to do the ZR1 again.
Just got an alert on the camera, glass heard breaking in the garage.
Really? All right, guys, so kind of funny. I have a Google Home in my garage, and it's set up to alert me if it hears glass breaking. And for some reason, every time I start one of these C8 Corvettes, this thing right here hears it as breaking glass, and it alerts me. That's how you know these things are loud. But so far, out of these two, I don't know how it sounds on camera, but which one do you guys think sounds louder on camera? The ZR1 or the C8?
You actually have somebody on here from Dubai.
Dubai, yeah.
He says, hope we're doing well.
What's his name?
Shab.6866.
C8's louder, okay. Like I said, I don't know, I don't think it's actually louder. I think the ZR1 can only rev up to 5,000 RPM or 4,000 RPM. The C8 can go all the way up to 6,500. That's a limitation from GM. I don't know why they did that, because my 2015 Z06 I had did not have that limitation. I was able to rev all the way up. So it's something they did just specifically for the 19s.
Ken said he's going to be there at the August 8th show at Click Lewis.
I agree, Andrew. I think the ZR1 sounds like a deeper tone. I think it's a hair louder too. In person, I think the ZR1's louder.
Did you already tell Preston's asking when are you giving away the C5? Do you have a date set?
Preston, yes. So the giveaway end date for the C5 Corvette is April 12th, 2020, or October 12th, 2021. So I announced it July 12th, and it's 3 months from that date that we will be giving this car away.
Brian said he can rev his Toyota Highlander and imagine it sounds. It sounds like that.
All right, yeah. All right, guys, so we are at 105 thumbs ups. You guys are awesome. You're doing all kinds of craziness. How about 120 thumbs up, and we cold start the truck? We might as well, right? Cold start the truck, and we'll cold start the wife's, I almost called it a Lincoln Cadillac. Caddy will have Andrew, there is a possibility that Cadillac will retain some sort of, something's happening. use for that mid-engine. My phone was freezing up there for a second.
Getting hot.
Yeah, I think it might be getting a little bit warm. All right, guys, so give me a couple more thumbs up. I appreciate what you guys have done so far. I actually have more thumbs up than I do viewers on this live stream right now. That says something by itself right there.
Ralph wants to know, will you be getting the carbon fiber rims for your C8? If not, why?
Yes, so with the C8 Z06, I am definitely getting the Z07 package, and I believe that that option will come with carbon fiber rotors, or carbon fiber wheels. Is that what you asked, wheels or rotors?
He wants to know carbon fiber rims.
Yeah, so that will come with carbon fiber wheels, and if it does, I will be keeping them, yes. Now, those will not find their way onto any kind of track or anything because they are apparently a little bit dangerous as far as that's concerned, but normal driving, just don't hit a pothole real hard with them and you'll be fine.
Ryan wants to know, is there an exotic sports car in the future of HPO?
Yes, I think there is. Eventually, I want a Lamborghini Huracan Performante. Now, don't mistake what I'm saying here, because whenever I say I want that Lamborghini Performante, I am always going to have a Corvette of some kind. Whatever it is, at that point, I couldn't tell you, but it will be... This one here, it's going to take a lot to pry this one out of my cold, dead hands. So it probably will be this one, if I had to guess. That one's sticking around for a while. Now, at some point, these are going to be worth a lot of money, and it's going to be hard to say no to that. So at that point, we'll talk more about it. But there will always be a Corvette here of some kind. Yeah, Ken, you probably know something about the potholes here too.
Great White North Corvette. Do you think the Z06 will have an option for chrome rims? Oh, your dad would love that.
No, the Corvette team is done with chrome wheels on the C8. From factory, there is never going to be a chrome offering on these cars. Now, there are a couple different options you can do. You could obviously get aftermarket wheels, or you could even have them powder coated to get a chrome finish.
Corsa Carlisle meet, is somebody is asking. Built Tough is asking. Corsa Carlisle meet.
Are you asking about the Corsa exhaust install? Because Corsa will be there, but one of my cars will be with AWE, possibly both of them as long as I still have this one. And then the C5 will be over at my normal spot over by the food court. I have 6 spaces purchased over there. I will give you guys the exact location as we get closer to the show date.
Ken said he saw the C5 in person and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. And I know when I show you guys on camera or even on the live chat or the live video here, it doesn't come through quite as well as it should. It is unbelievably clean. I mean, you could see the reflections in the paint. The wheels just make it look like a 2021 car. It's incredible.
Chris wants to know, do you think that GM will go back to the drawing and redesign some better rims for the C8?
I 100% hope so. I mean, the wheels I've seen so far kind of teased for the C8 Z06. They look better than the stock wheels here. And that's not hard to do because the stock wheels on the C8 Corvette are pretty bad. One of the very first mods I had, they were actually sitting in my house before I even got the C8, were these black diamond wheels.
Brian Greer wants to know, can I have your Corvettes, Justin? That with the car payments also.
Yeah, if you want the payments that goes with it, maybe. Guys, we're at 108 thumbs up. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, please do. I want to make sure this video gets out to everybody, as many people as possible, so everybody is aware of what's coming with the C8 Corvette, what these cars sound like when they get cold started. And we still owe you a cold start of the C5. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten you. We're going to do that. Actually, we're going to do that right now. Why don't you jump in there and give them a cold start? Yeah.
You want to get behind me and show those very straight pipes?
Yeah, guys, so ignore...
Go ahead.
Pull it in. Ignore the kind of crooked exhaust tips here. Like I said, they're going to be fixed here shortly. Yeah, see, this one's just not loud enough. It needs to be louder. But those are what we're dealing with here. I will be having a new exhaust installed on this very soon. not bad for 22 years old. Oh, there it is. It needs a little more volume, but I think it's not bad. At the end of the day, for a 22-year-old car, and that's a stock exhaust, it sounds pretty good. With a Borla attack system, it sounds really good. It does still sound great, Mike. I agree. All right, so we're going to start kind of wrapping up these questions, guys. I did hear one question asking me about horsepower on the C8 Z06, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but just so you guys know, it is going to be between 600 and 625 horsepower. Because it is a flat plane crank, it's going to have limited torque, but from what I understand, there is going to be something in there to help assist with torque. I know what it is, but I could get people in trouble for talking about it, so I don't want to give too much information. All I'll tell you is it is not a turbo. Other than that, there's something that's going to be there to help it assist with torque, so it's a little bit higher than the typical flat plane crank can produce.
Ken says, excellent live stream tonight, HPO and Mrs. Amber. I promise we didn't pay him to say that. Preston says, better get that thing straight before you give it to me. I'm sure he's talking about the
the exhaust tips. Yeah,
exhaust
don't worry, they will be straight. We're going to be getting a new exhaust on this car very soon. We've done a lot of stuff with it already. I actually have at least one more video coming here very soon talking about some additional things that are done with this car that you guys can't see yet. Nothing crazy, of course. I'm not going to go twin turbocharging this thing or anything like that. But whoever wins this car, I can tell you one thing, you are going to get a very clean, very respectable C5 Corvette.
Brian Greer is asking, can you take the roofs off of all the Corvettes? How about next live we start with the roofs off, because it's a lot of work.
Yeah, there you go. So guys, next time we do a live video, we'll do something similar to this, and we actually, all of these roofs can come off. So even on the C5, we'll pop the top off of all of them and kind of give you a little bit of a demonstration on how that works. They're all about the same, minus the fact that the C8 is the lightest of the bunch. The C7 is about a pound or two heavier, and then the C5 is the heaviest. So as the time goes on, these roofs have gotten lighter and lighter, so they're easier to remove. I can do specifically the C8 by myself. The Zr1 I probably could. I haven't really taken that one off a lot, but
I think Ken and Preston are going to go at it here. Ken says to Preston he already made room in the garage for the C5, so who's winning that one, right?
Well, you guys keep buying merchandise. Every $10 spent is one entry to win the C5 Corvette. So if you spend 10 bucks, that's one entry. If you spend $100, that's 10 entries. So if you want your best chances of winning this thing, keep buying. And at the end of the day, you're only helping support the channel. So you really can't go wrong.
Great White and Worth Corvette said, great show tonight. We appreciate you guys for watching, and then going to go back in. We usually spend about 3 hours a night shipping out all the merch that you guys are buying. The first couple of days have been extremely busy. Yeah. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciate all the support, guys. You guys are really, really trying to win this thing, and I appreciate it because you're also helping the channel at the end of the day. But I think next live we're going to start with removing the roofs, guys. So
good idea, Brian. That's for Brian.
Brian, that was your idea. That's a good one.
Joseph wants to know when you come into Indy.
Man, I wish I could. I wish I could hit up all these states because I know there's a lot of people out there that I would love to meet up with all of you guys. I really would.
What about an HPO tour?
Yeah,
maybe when we get the Z06.
That would be a good idea.
HPO tour.
Listen to all these good ideas my wife's giving me. So maybe we'll make a. Actually, you know what? We might go through Indy for our trip.
Although I still have a full-time job, so.
Yeah.
Until then.
We'll talk about it. I'd love to meet up with all you guys. I really would. So. If you're not able to make it to Carlisle, that's a really good venue to meet up with Corvette guys, is going to Carlisle. The people that are there are obviously all Corvette supporters. So Frank, my merchandise is in the first link in the description. If you click on that link, it will take you right to the merchandise page.
Ken says to hit the thumbs up button, fans.
Yeah, guys, one last time, thumbs up. If you give me a big thumbs up, it helps circulate this video and it really helps the channel. Michael wants a cold start of the ZR2. I think we'll save that for next time as well. So we'll do the roofs and a cold start of the ZR2 truck, which this actually sounds pretty good because there's two different things I've done to it. Well, actually only one that you guys haven't seen yet, and that video will be coming soon. But with these two things together, it sounds pretty good for a V6.
So Ken, your order is actually going out tonight for the posters. We just got all of our shipping material, so those will be going out tonight. the vet father. Come to Cali. I would love to.
Yeah. And he'll let me take his C8 on the track.
There you go.
You probably shouldn't promise something like that, but I would love to. One of these days I'll make it out there. I know me and the vet father have talked back and forth a lot on Instagram about some different mods with the C8 Corvette in general. But guys, I think we're done. I think we're going to wrap this one up. So one last time, if you could please smash that thumbs up button. Let me know you're liking the content so I can keep doing this stuff for you. Let YouTube know. That way they circulate this video amongst everybody who is also Corvette fans. We're going to wrap this one up, guys. I'm going to try to do these live videos more often. I think you guys are liking it, and I know I am. I'm loving chatting with you guys. I mean, talking about cars on a nice day, it doesn't get any better than this. Let me know, either in the live chat or even after this video goes onto the YouTube channel, let me know in the comments if you like these live videos as much as I do, and if I should keep doing them as often as I have been.
What do you think? Should we do one last rev to end it on the C8? Brian is asking if we could do that.
Okay, we'll end this live stream with a C8 Corvette rev. Just for you, Brian, we're going to get one more cold start and a little bit of a rev out of the C8. On the hood. That sounds unbelievable. All right, so we're going to end it on that note. Guys, again, one last time, thumbs up. I will catch you guys in the next live video. I will try to do one. I'm thinking once a week. So make sure you tune in for those, guys. I love the support. I love chatting with you guys. We will see you next time.